One misstep by Prince William could implode a £1.3 billion estate and drag the crown into an unprecedented cash firestorm. 900 square miles, 23 counties, centuries of protocol, now resting on a single pair of mud-stained boots. Most Britons still assume the Duchy of Cornwall is a sleepy relic, yet audited profits top £120 million every year. Still fewer know its new landlord is ripping out tradition acre by acre, shielded only by fog and the silence of tight-lipped farmers. Public trust in the monarchy hovers at 53% among under-30s, and a single miscalculation could slash that brittle margin overnight. If the Duchy's reforms falter, Republican headlines are locked and loaded. Suspense drips from every hedgerow. When King Charles III settled the crown upon his own head in September 2022, a 7-century-old machine slid into William's portfolio. It includes fisheries, quarries, rivers, wind turbines and even slices of the Scilly seabed, assets that can lift or sink regional economies. William frames this inheritance as Britain's most demanding apprenticeship, insiders whisper, and he approaches it with drill sergeant precision. The weight of lineage crunches louder than gravel. Charles issued one directive: walk every acre before signing a single check. William took it literally, arriving unannounced every 4 to 6 weeks, while the court circular stays defiantly blank. 15 miles on foot per visit, dairy sheds at dawn, headlands at dusk, tenant kitchens whenever kettles boil. Silence replaces red carpet fanfare. A shepherd's collie breaks the hush, and the prince kneels to scratch its ears before jotting diesel prices in a recycled notebook. Historic ledgers show last year's surplus at £33 million, 9% above pre-pandemic peaks, yet many tenants still choose heat over meat. William calls profit a useless metric if local families cannot replace cracked windows before frost sets in. Lines on a balance sheet do not carry hay bales. First shock ripples through the granite village hall at Stoke Climsland. Expecting ribbon-snipping niceties, farmers hear him pledge zero-interest loans for regenerative seed drills, repayable only after yields rise. Applause roars. An octogenarian whispers that no duke has spoken so boldly since the Black Prince. Hearts pound beneath tweed waistcoats. A quick nudge. Tap subscribe if raw corridor talks beat sanitized press releases. Your click keeps the back doors open. William's audacity leans on precedent. In 1877 the Duchy funded a rail spur that halved travel time for Cornish tin. He cites that triumph to justify full-fibre broadband by next spring. Holding a faded survey map, he warns the room, we subsidize the wrong century if we accept slow data. Murmurs ripple among shaking mugs. Ipsos Mori finds only 44% of rural voters feel heard by the Crown. William brands the number unforgivable. Pilot organic fields cut fertilizer emissions 19% in 2 seasons. He marks 30% as the new floor by 2027. Targets, he says, must sting or they are pointless. Ambition tightens like a drawn bowstring. Lunch is a cheese pasty balanced on a Land Rover tailgate. He unrolls brown paper sketches of a carbon-negative dairy complex, quoting McKinsey's 6-to-1 return on investment. Finance chiefs blanch. The prince counters with climate bonds data showing green issuances up 80% year-on-year. Green ink stains his cuffs. Rumors, courtesy of palace insiders, hint at a sovereign climate fund seeded by Duchy assets and open to public co-investment. Critics fear heritage auctioned to private capital. Supporters call it 21st century patriotism. William ends debate with 5 clipped words. Credibility must outlive every check. Principles outrank profit. A sudden squall lashes Newquay's cliffs. Geologists outline worst-case erosion. William earmarks relocation grants before they finish the slide deck, insisting on planning for catastrophe, not comfort. A 73-year-old shepherd wipes tears. Her sheep have grazed that bluff since George III. History measures itself in hoofprints. By dusk, Restormel's ruins glow ember-orange while aides hunch over OLED tablets. Spreadsheets list timber homes at 40% below market rent, 600 saplings planted daily, bursaries for veteran beekeepers. Each row links to a column labeled, Lives Improved, or Earns Red Ink. An owl signs off with a solitary hoot. Deloitte pegs asset value at £1.3 billion, 47% above a decade ago. Yet tenancy arrears rose 5% amid energy spikes. William orders direct fuel credits financed by executive pay caps at Dutch-controlled firms. Boardroom chatter mutates into reluctant nods. Numbers clang louder when paired with conscience. Twist 2 detonates under fluorescent barn lights. Mixed reality headset in place, William dials in tenants from Kent orchards to Scilly lobster boats, floating a cooperative electric van fleet. He cites Herzogenaurach's zero-emission zone, promising pilot subsidies by next quarter. Sea spray tastes like ambition. A Herefordshire grower challenges rent indexation. William concedes margins are thin, then unveils a formula, increases capped at Consumer Prices Index, -1, reviewed annually by tenant vote. He invites 3 tenant representatives onto a veto panel for any capital project lacking community benefit. Checks, balances, royal humility collide. YouGov's flash poll 2 weeks later shows approval jumping 6 points among 16 to 34s, the monarchy's toughest audience. Even Republican broadsheets concede the duchy operates more like a social enterprise than a fiefdom. William attributes the bump to showing not telling. Transparency is vital oxygen. Midnight rain needles the windscreen toward Exeter. He dictates notes into an encrypted recorder, soil health dashboard, coastal erosion tracker, agronomy scholarships. Dawn's London flight leaves at 6, yet he tacks on 2 extra site visits. Fatigue is a luxury the Crown cannot afford. Back at Kensington, planners unveil Phase 2 metrics, net zero operations by 2035, 1 million trees by 2030, public dashboards quarterly. Each target carries a postcode, a face, a deadline. If it doesn't improve a life, William warns, postpone the ribbon. An empty chair waits for the next idea. Across the channel, European royals monitor the experiment. Dutch courtiers whisper about cloning the model. Scandinavian tabloids ask whether William's carbon ledger shames Oslo. Soft power accrues quietly when spreadsheets tell human stories. A skeptic's eyebrow lifts, yet numbers rise. Handwritten notes, plain WC, reach every host, shepherd, cider maker, veteran beekeeper, even the pub landlord who lent his parlour. No crest, no flourish, just ink, gratitude and a signature they can frame or toss. He slips unseen onto the A390 before sunrise. Legacy travels in plain envelopes. Civil service briefings hint at constitutional ripples. Treasury eyes Duchy green bonds as templates for levelling up funds. Environment ministers crave his soil data. Westminster's intrigue swirls around a prince acting like a roaming policy lab. Old maps tremble under new ideas. Q4 audit confirms a 40% slash in estate carbon since pilots began, verified by ISS ESG. Tenant councils publish satisfaction scores at 86%, 24 points above late-stage Charles. Still, conservationists warn solar fields may devour medieval hedgerows if ambition outruns caution. Progress rarely wins unanimous applause. Insiders whisper the next audit will pit heritage farms against photovoltaic megaprojects. William hopes to triple renewable output without erasing field patterns that predate Magna Carta. Every hedge line becomes a front line in the Green Revolution. The tamer's mist thickens with tension. One-line punch. The Dutch's fate might hinge on a single fence post. Second shockwave. Westminster's Public Accounts Committee schedules an unprecedented hearing on royal estate transparency. MPs from all parties prepare to grill William's finance team on every penny sunk into carbon tech. Failure could ignite calls to fold the duchy into the Treasury and cut the monarchy's purse strings for good. Nerves drumroll in committee corridors. Charles dispatches a terse two-line memo from Balmoral, "Hold fast." Detail is defense. William circles the note, pockets it, and orders forensic auditing of every supplier ahead of testimony. Lawyers murmur that no heir has ever faced parliamentary scrutiny on such open terms. Constitutional pageantry meets forensic accounting. Parliamentary rumors spread through betting markets. Odds on a duchy breakup shorten to 3-1, palace aides quietly wager on his survival. BBC producers book debate slots, anticipating peak time fireworks. The soapbox is about to become a pressure cooker. Aides recommend softening language. William refuses, stating voters crave candor. He rehearses answers at 2 a.m. with Oxford economists, repeating one phrase: "If public money backs our bonds, public scrutiny is the price." Spin doctors exhale at the risk, yet sense a headline victory if it works. Dice rattle inside the velvet bag of tradition. Treasury briefers leak selective figures suggesting duchy borrowing masks hidden deficits. William counters with audited ledgers and offers open data APIs for any citizen coder to interrogate. Foot columnists muse that he is dragging a feudal relic into blockchain daylight. The past meets the cloud, sparks fly. Now the clock races toward the hearing. Tenants record messages of support, environmental NGOs draft wish lists, hedge fund managers pore over green bond covenants. Every stakeholder wonders whether the prince can juggle heritage, transparency, and climate ambition on live television. The stage lights hum. Quick reminder, if you value this unfiltered access, tap the bell, because the cameras will roll and seats will fill fast. So where will all this land? In 60 days, William will unveil the first fully itemized royal estate budget in 788 years. Will the spreadsheets vindicate his audacity, or expose flaws big enough to topple a modern monarchy? Stay tuned, because what unfolds in that committee room may decide whether the Duchy of Cornwall becomes Britain's brightest beacon, or its costliest cautionary tale.